Hello guys, today I want to discuss KPMG interview question for PHP and MySQL developer. So the interview date was April 11, 2024. So they asked me what is the difference between framework and library. So I said a framework provides a structured foundation for building application. It typically enforces a specific way of organizing and structuring your code. Your code, while library is a collection of reusable code designed to resolve a specific problem or provide a specific functionality. Second difference is the framework is in control of application flow and you work within its rules and architectures. This is often called inversion of control. You write code that the framework calls when needed. While in the case of the library, you are in you call the library's function method when needed. It doesn't dictate the structure of your application. Third, offer built-in tools and control like routing. In the case of the framework, it offers built-in tools and component like routing, templating, authentication, database connection, and more. Enforce a particular design pattern, mm, for example, MVC model view controller. While in the case of the library, it focuses on a specific set of features like the database interaction, string manipulation, or image processing. Another difference is framework provides a standardized way to develop applications, while a library does not enforce a particular architecture, architecture or design pattern. So, if you want to make it more crisp, so say you can say framework tells you what you do and how to do it. In the case of library, you decide when to use it. Now, second question, what is a Gent framework? So, Gent framework is an open source, object oriented web application framework implemented in PHP. Then they asked me the autoloader in Gent framework. So, an autoloader automatically loads PHP classes when you need them. So, you don't have to write include or require statement for every file. So, then they immediately asked me how to set it up. So, I said using Composer. Uh, if let us suppose we are using Composer, install Gent framework using Composer. So the command will be the Composer require laminas, because the new name of the Gent framework is laminas. So laminas slash laminas MVC. Add your namespace in composer.json like autoload, PSR4, myapp, and SRS slash myapp. Now run this command composer dump hyphen autoload. So this is using composer, and without composer, or we can say manually, how can we use it? So first of all, you have to create use gent loader autoloader factory, then require vendor autoloader.php, then you have to make autoloader factory gent loader standard autoloader namespace myapp dir src myapp and close the bracket. Then you have to create an object user equal to new myapp model user, so class will load automatically. Why use it? No need to manually include files, keeps your code clean and organized, make it easier to manage large project. So that's why we use the autoloader in gent. Then next question they asked me, end and double end. So in PHP, both and double and are logical operations used to combine condition, and they have some difference. Like let us suppose we are creating a PHP PHP program, $a equal to true, $b equal to true, and dollar result one equal to $a and $b, and second dollar result two equal to $a and $b. So in the case of the first, it will return output false, and in the case of the end, it will return the output true. Why? In PHP, equal to, that is the assignment, has higher precedence than end. This means that PHP evaluates the statement as $result2 equal to $a and $b. So $b. Okay. So that's why due to the precedence, the result will be different. So next question they asked me, yeah, if you want to, if you don't want to confuse in double end or single end, so in the case of single end, you can use the parenthesis so that the output will be, means you won't get any confusion. Or simple to remember, use double end instead of and in such cases to avoid confusion. So then they asked me what is the PHP CLI. So PHP CLI command line interface allows you to run PHP scripts directly from the command line terminal or command prompt without needing a web server. Then they asked me how to use CLI. So first of all, you have to check your PHP version, PHP-v. Then you have to create one script.php file, and you can just echo there hello PHP CLI. Then run the script using command line php script.php. Then it will give your output. Why use PHP CLI? What is the need? No web server needed. You can run PHP directly on your computer. Great for automation, useful for tasks like backups or sending mails automatically. And quick testing, run small PHP script without opening a browser. Then they asked me what is the SQL injection. So I said SQL injection is a code injection technique that might destroy our database. SQL injection is the placement of malicious code in SQL statement via web page input. For example, we have a query select star from student where student ID is equal to 1 2 3 4. Okay, and in the case of SQL injection, they can use or 1 is equal to 1 in this query. So now 1 is equal to 1 will return all record for which this hold true. So basically all the student data is compromised. Now the malicious user can also delete the student record in a similar fashion. So how to store log in without login data. So for non-logged in user, you can store data temporarily in the cookies or in the local storage like the client side. So using cookie allow you to store data on the user's browser which persist even after the browser is closed unless the cookie expire. So set cookie user underscore data temporary value and time plus 3600. Cookie expire in 1 hour. And access the cookie. How will you access the cookie? If asset dollar underscore cookie is equal to user underscore data, so echo dollar underscore cookie user data output temporary value. So using local storage, first is the cookie, second you can use a client side JavaScript. Although not directly part of PHP, local storage is a common method for storing non-sensitive user data in the browser. So you can use JavaScript to handle this. So how can we store in the local storage? So local storage dot set item user underscore data is equal to temporary value. Access data from local storage. Let user data equal to local storage dot get item user data. So console dot log user data output temporary underscore value. So key difference. Session store data at the server side for logged in user. Cookies store data client side on the user's browser for both logged in and non logged in user. Database store permanent user data server side for logged in user. Local storage store data client side for the non logged in user. So simple answer was the if they ask you how to store logged in without login data. So generally you can use the cookie, set a cookie and then you can use it. Then they asked me x triple equal to hello versus x double equal to hello. So I said x triple equal to hello. This is a strict comparison. Checks both and types. Does not perform type conversion. The operand must have the same type and value to return true. So let us suppose we have a PHP code like the $x equal to hello, that is capital H and ELLO in the small letter. So when where underscore dump $x equal to triple equal to hello, so it will return the true because the variable we initiated hello and hello, these are the same, so it will return the true. If we use where underscore dump and then $x triple equal to small h we use in the hello, it will return the false. It will return the false. And when we are using where underscore dump $x triple equal to 5, then it will return false because of a different type. In the case of x equal to small x double equal to small h and then hello, this is a loose comparison. Perform type. If the type are different, PHP will attempt to convert one or both operand to a common type before making the comparison. So x is equal to capital H hello, then where underscore dump $x double equal to small h hello, it will return true because this is a loosely comparison. Then where underscore dump 5 equal 5 equal to 5, it will return the true. Where dump 0 equal to false, it will return true. So then they asked me SQL injection prevention. So I said we should use prepared statement. So they asked me what is a prepared statement. So I said prepared statement are the best way to prevent SQL injection. They ensure that user input is treated as data, not executable code. So example with MySQLi, we can use generally two things in SQL injection prevention. First is the MySQLi and second is the PDO. So in the case of the MySQLi, first of all we have to connect with the database. MySQLi is equal to new MySQLi, then localhost username password and database name in the bracket. Now we are using the prepared statement. So $stmt equal to $mysqli, then prepare, and then inside that we'll write the select star from user. Let us suppose we have a users table where username is equal to question mark and password equal to question mark. Then bind the parameter s is equal to string stmt, bind param ss underscore user dollar username and comma underscore dollar password. Set the value of parameter. Now dollar username is equal to dollar underscore post username, dollar password is equal to dollar underscore post password. Execute the query stmt execute, get the display result. Dollar result is equal to stmt get result. Then we'll use a while loop. Row is equal to result fetch associate, then each row username, then stmt close and mysqli code. close. Now we have already used MySQLi. Now we are using the PDO. So connect to the PDO. So dollar $PDO new PDO MySQL colon host equal to local host, then DB name, then username, then password. Then prepared statement we are using stmt, then dollar $PDO prepare. Then we'll write the query select star from user where username is equal to colon username and password is equal to colon password. Then bind the parameter stmt bind param colon username dollar username PDO double colon param underscore str. And second dollar stmt bind param colon password dollar password PDO double colon param underscore str. Set value and execute dollar username is equal to dollar underscore post. So username dollar password is equal to dollar underscore post, that this is the password. Then dollar stmt execute. Then if you want to display the result, then we'll use a while loop. Dollar row is equal to stmt fetch PDO double colon fetch associate. Then echo dollar row is equal to username dollar row username. So this is the SQL injection. And we have already used the prepared statement. Now if okay, so now let us suppose also we want to prevent that injection. So we should use the escape user input. This is less secure. So so if you can't use prepare statement, make sure to escape user input to prevent harmful character in your SQL query. And the third is the validate input. Make sure that user input matches the expected format. Username should only contain letter and number. So for that you have a function. If not equal to prag match, then you have to write that regular expression and die invalid username. So in the summary we can brief it. Use prepared statement MySQLi or PDO for safety if you want to stop injection. Second, validate input to ensure it allows expected format. Third, by following this step, you can greatly reduce the risk of SQL injection in your PHP code. Then they ask me database file name is staging and production. Let us suppose you have a database. So what should be the name in the staging stage and in the production stage? So I said for staging environment generally we write the name staging underscore db underscore name, whatever name you have. So staging underscore your db name, or we can use staging underscore db dot sqlite. In the case of production environment, prod underscore db dot sqlite or production underscore db name. Then they ask me what is the composer. So I said composer is a tool for dependency management in PHP. It allows you to declare the library your project depend on. It will manage install for you. Let us suppose you are creating a new project. So mkdir my project you have created, then you will go to inside that my project cd my underscore project, then initiate composer init. This create a composer.json file where your project dependency are listed. Even whenever you want to install like code igniter in your system, so for that also you need your composer. So these questions KPMG asked me. Even they asked me the full form of the KPMG, and that is the Klynveld, Peat, Marwick, Goerdeler. So these were the questions KPMG asked me. I will share more questions and answers with you. Till then, bye.